But we start with television. And I don't know if you've seen it, but Channel 4 has recently launched a sort of British remake of The Wire. Benefit Street is a fly-on-the-fly covered wall documentary series, a bit like Sesame Street, brought to you by the letters DSS and DWP. It follows some of the residents on an apparently notorious Birmingham street where, we're told, most of the residents are on benefits. As well as impoverished single mums, it also depicts petty criminals on the rob. On the one hand, it's a gritty slice-of-life expose, but it's also packaged with a knowing nod and a wink. And it's so full of larger-than-life characters, it almost feels like a sitcom, a bit like Friends, with benefits. Usually when people on the breadline are exploited for entertainment, it's done unsubtly on grubby bellowing chambers like the Jeremy Kyle show.
You're a drunken bum sponging off taxpayers in this country, and people like you should be put out on the street. Do you love it? You love it? Yeah. Right. I'll tell you how much you love it.
Whereas Benefit Street is presented more like a sort of safari park tour through poor people's natural environments. It's even packaged a bit like a nature show, complete with sweeping shots of the landscape so you can see what benefits look like from a balloon. There's also footage of the lovable offspring gambling in the wild, sequences in which predators scavenge for scraps, and the violent majesty of Darwinian survival.
Fuck you wankers! Let go of me! Let the fuck go of me! Let the fuck go of me!
Some have complained the programme depicts lazy ne'er-do-wells living the high life, sponging off the state, and to be fair, the level of luxury they're enjoying is outrageous. I mean, just look, most of them have got shoes. The sense of entitlement is amazing. They use oxygen without even paying for it. They just inhale it and convert it into carbon dioxide, selfishly leaving less for the taxpayer. They've even got sticks and bits of old fan. I haven't got sticks and bits of old fan, why should they? And they're so lazy. They sit around on their asses contributing nothing of value to society, boozing themselves stupid and stuffing their faces with cheap junk food. You wouldn't catch me doing that. In the act of artisan crisps. Society likes to let off steam by having a set of sanctioned hate figures it's okay to openly deride, a list that changes with the times, and currently benefits claimants are on it. Channel 4 says Benefit Street is about community spirit in adverse circumstances, but the problem is it's not called Community Spirit in Adverse Circumstances, it's called Benefit Street, a button-pushing title attached to a programme with more buttons than a shirt factory. They might as well have called it The Great British Skive-Off or Layabout Way. To wear my earnest hat for a moment, I actually thought Benefit Street was broadly sympathetic to its participants, although being a TV show, it also inevitably boiled their lives down to eye-catching highlights and outrageous sound bites. But thanks to that title and the ingrained assumptions of some viewers on both sides of the political divide, it also caused the sort of noisy publicity-stoking press reaction that must have had Channel 4 wanking with dismay. The debate came alive on a feisty edition of Newsnight as a man from Channel 4 had to defend himself against accusations of being a poverty porn baron.
Are you comfortable with the idea of poverty porn as an idea?
I'm deeply uncomfortable with that phrase. I think it's inaccurate.
That's true. Benefit Street isn't porn. I mean, what's pornographic about seeing 6 sweaty men crammed into one filthy hole? There's not even any money shots. Well, they haven't got any money. The ideological lines were drawn, representing the unimpressed left, pious newborn Owen Jones, who said Benefit Street was a damaging distortion of society's most vulnerable.
What we have in this so-called debate about the welfare state is a relentless, almost obsessive hunting down of the most extreme, dysfunctional, unrepresentative people.
But wait, they're adults.
Benefits.
They're adults. Isn't that carried with patronising?
No, it isn't patronising. I'll tell you why it's not patronising, Kirsty.
No, sorry, that's far too patronising. Owen, you lose 10 points and miss a turn. Amongst the unsympathetic reactees, opinion-pissing human clickbait Katie Thatcher-Hopkins popped up on This Week to hector the work-shy.
I don't care if it's sunny, I don't care if it's raining. You need to get out of bed and get a job.
Fair enough, I'll have yours. What the f*** is it again? The show's producers, aware of how much shit Hopkins spouts, cannily positioned her in a toilet so she could at least mop up after herself.
I have absolutely no sympathy for anybody on Benefit Street.
Or any street.
They're always looking to blame someone, blame the government, blame landlords, blame anybody but themselves.
Yeah, and who pays for that blame? We do.
These are people that are sponging off the state when they could be out working, even if it means doing a job you simply don't want to do.
Quite right, they're scared of doing the kind of tough minimum wage job you're pretending to do here. Hard-nut Hopkins disapproves of ignorant scumbags living off money siphoned from hard-working folk, which is why she refused to accept her BBC appearance fee, possibly. And she used it as a springboard to call for further cuts.
The Conservatives are right to suggest cutting housing benefit for the under-25s. We just can't allow young people to choose to have a nice life paid for by somebody else.
Yeah, that's why I refuse to buy my child clothes or food. F*** him.
There was this sort of anger-making programme called Benefit Street. Like, it gave you a fascinating insight into the lives of these people who have got next to nothing, so you could judge them.
They weren't claiming benefits like an MP claims benefits or Prince Charles, but a different sort of benefits that they weren't entitled to because they were poor.
Unemployed, unemployed.
Normally, when you see poor people, it's hard to judge them because you feel sort of empathy and you think, oh dear, I hope humankind does something to help them. But this was clever because it stopped you feeling like that.
When I was watching it, I felt sort of pity for the people in it. But when I went on Twitter, everyone was angry with them. So I thought, oh, I've got it wrong. I better join in with that. So then I wrote these little tweet things about how they were scum and bastards and how I hope the government fucking shoots them and then stands over their bodies pumping bullet after bullet into their benefit scum bastard bodies. And I got like 20 new followers for that. So it was a pretty good programme, yeah. People say there's no community anymore, but watching that interesting show and joining in with everyone on the internet, hating them together, sort of outdoing each other to express how much hate you felt was amazing. I don't think I've ever felt so much like part of a huge group with all this fun anger surging through us. It really made me feel alive. Can't wait till next week's episode.